everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm Candy Washington, and you guys, my heart is broken with this piece of pop culture news about Adam Levine of Maroon 5 and The Voice stardom. But before we dive into this hot piece of mess, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. And also be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out the description box below for some goodies, and also check out our merch. We have the Love Collection and a whole lot more. So let's dive right on in. So, wow. So this Instagram model, her name is Sumner Stroh, I think it is. It's Stroh, Stroh. She took to TikTok to let the world know that she has been having an affair with Adam Levine, the frontman for the indie rock band Maroon 5. He's also been on The Voice. I'm sure he's done some bit acting roles and some modeling. Like, he's kind of like, cool rocker guy. The only problem is, for the last decade, he has been married to Victoria's Secret model Behati Paroli. If I'm pronouncing her last name incorrectly, I apologize, guys. We'll just call her Behati since that's her first name. So he has been married to her for about a decade, if not longer, and they currently have two beautiful children with a third one on the way. So he has been cheating allegedly on his pregnant wife with a 23-year-old Instagram model, Sumner. Now, don't take it from me. Let's hear it from her. This is what she had to say on her TikTok.
I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, I was young, I was naive, and quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated. Maroon 5 is practically elevator music at this point, so I'm sure you know who Adam Levine is. But Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said, okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious. I was like, I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell at this point. My morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. I wanted to handle this privately. I never wanted to come forward because obviously I know the implications that come with doing what I do, making money the way I do, and being an Instagram model. So being tied to a story like this, it's like, I know the stereotypes. I had sent some screenshots recklessly to a few friends I thought I trusted, and one of them had attempted to sell to a tabloid. So here I am.
Oof, there you have it, guys. And then today she wanted to do a part 2, and this is what she had to say in her follow-up.
For comment, and so I was completely frantic. That is why that video is, for one, just so... I just wanted to make a part 2. I feel like it's obviously necessary. Hindsight is 2020. I initially wanted to go in and talk about how remorseful I feel and how embarrassed and disgusted I am with myself, but I didn't want people to look at it and think like, oh, she's playing the victim. But in reality, it had the opposite effect. Something I now realize I didn't touch on enough was the fact that one of my friends had attempted to sell it, which I realized yesterday whenever they reached out to me for comment. And so I was completely frantic. That is why that video is, for one, just so all over the place, and two, why I didn't touch on some of the things that I initially would have liked. So in this video, I would like to address some of those things. I only came forward because I wanted to kill whatever story the tabloid had. The most important part that I did definitely gloss over is the fact that I was under the impression that their marriage was over. I believe that they were keeping it quiet to avoid the negative press because, as I had said, I was new to LA. So I just assumed that with celebrities of that caliber that that's just how it was. And that's why I feel exploited, because he knew I believed everything that he said because of my vulnerable position of being new to LA. Also, he was DMing me straight from his verified Instagram account. I didn't have any reason to further question it. But I now realize that that was likely a manipulation tactic of his, just hiding in plain sight. As soon as I had realized that was not the case, I had cut things off with him. In retrospect, I wish I would have questioned things more. I wish I wasn't so naive, but, being naive is not an excuse for what I did in the role I played in this. Again, in no way was I trying to gain sympathy, and I fully realize I'm not the victim in this. I'm not the one who's really getting hurt here. It's Beati and her children, and for that, I'm so, so sorry.
Oof, you guys, oof. Okay, so I have some thoughts. First of all, again, everything is still alleged. She has these, alleged receipts, DMs, text messages, X, Y, and Z. But again, anything can be faked, anything can be photoshopped these days. So we're still going to say allegedly until we get a little bit more information on this. But I'm going to share my thoughts. So first up, sorry guys. Sorry. So first up, I'm sorry, Sumner, that you weren't exploited. Oh my gosh, I had so many thoughts when this came up. Number one, I don't think that you were exploited. Yes, I think you were a young, beautiful girl who came to LA and you met, however you met him, a hot rock star, celebrity guy, and you knew he was married. Him saying, oh, we don't have a marriage, our marriage is over, it's just for the press, blah, 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 blah. Well, that excuse doesn't really fly. I think a lot of people say, oh, he told me he was separated. Oh, he told me he was divorced. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But I just don't think that you can say that you were exploited. I think that's a very heavy word. I think it comes with a lot of different connotations to it. Were you played? Sure, maybe. But it's not like you didn't know that he was married and at that time he had 2 children. Like the entire world knew he was married with 2 children. So I think it's very easy, and you were also seeing him for a year. So I think it's very easy to say, oh, I thought the marriage was over, but I'm kind of not believing you. I think you knew he was married and you just didn't care. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're like, oh, I wasn't on the scene. I was vulnerable because I was new to LA. Okay, I get that. Being new to a big city, particularly LA, you do feel kind of vulnerable, not sure. But I don't care where you're from. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how new to a city you are. You know that sleeping with a married man is wrong. Point blank, period. You know it's wrong. And if he's not able to show you publicly, there's a reason for that. I'll give you grace and say, you know what, maybe he did say the marriage was over. It was only for the cameras, all of this. But kind of what did you expect was going to happen? He has 2 kids. He's married, at least publicly and still legally. I don't know. I'm just kind of, I usually always kind of side with the women, but I'm finding it really hard to find you sympathetic in this situation. That doesn't mean I'm siding with him. Absolutely not. I agree with your very, PR choppy put together second edition of this. The real victims and the only victims are Beati and the children. You're not a victim and he's not a victim. That's just what it is. I do think it's really creepy that he sent you the DM, allegedly, saying that he's going to name his 3rd child Sumner, which is your name. I don't think he's actually going to name his child Sumner. Clearly, I think that was just him seeing if you were still game for a booty call. Because it seems like that's what the situation was. Like, you guys would kind of text, hook up, have sex. It is what it is. It doesn't seem like you guys were actually in a relationship, given the fact that he was married with 2 kids publicly, right? So again, I don't think he actually was truly saying, "Hey, I'm gonna name my child Sumner." I think it was his sort of his like F boy way of like a "you up" text. I know it's weird, it's bizarre, but to me, it came across as him just sort of sending out some breadcrumb, seeing if you were still game, to like have casual sex. Okay, what else? What else? So, you saying that him DMing you from a verified Instagram account was his manipulation tactic. Sweetheart, that's not a manipulation tactic. That's just him DMing you from Instagram. I think what my problem is with this situation is that you're using very triggering words and you're whistleblowing for a moment that I don't think you deserve. Saying that you're exploited, saying that it's manipulation, saying that you were vulnerable. But then out the other side of your mouth being like, I am not the victim. But yet you're using all of the words that we use to describe victims: manipulated, vulnerable, exploited. I'm sorry, Sumner, but you were an adult and you chose to have a consensual sexual relationship with a married man with children. I think that's just what it is. And I think the reason why I'm having this reaction to you is because I do think that there are women out there, women, young girls, men, young boys, who really are vulnerable, who really are manipulated, who really are exploited, who really are victims. I think and I trust me, I am like the last person who ever says this about people. But to me, I think you're looking for a moment. I see this as you chasing some clout, you wanting to pull I don't even know, like you're wanting TikTok followers, you wanting Instagram followers. Like, to me, this is just you trying to get a come up. And I'm going to tell you why. Your explanation just doesn't make sense. You're like, oh, I'm only going live now because my friend, who I thought I could trust, was trying to sell this story to a tabloid. And then when the tabloid called, I freaked out. And so I said, well, I'll just have to go and like to TikTok and all of this because I didn't want the tabloid to run the story. That doesn't make sense. If you wanted the story to be dead, all you had to do was deny it. You could have said, no, I don't know what my friend is talking about. Oh, that was a joke. No, that's photoshopped. You can't have a comment. This isn't true. Don't run the story. It's a lie, blah, 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 blah. You could have denied if you actually wanted to kill the story, if you actually didn't want to hurt Bahati and her children. But instead of killing the story, you decided to break the story on your own TikTok account. So I'm really confused. If you did not want to go public with this, why did you? You could have very easily deaded the story when the tabloid allegedly called you about it. It doesn't make sense. If you don't co-sign the story, there is no story. So I just don't believe you. Something just doesn't feel right. Something just isn't tracking for me with this. Do I think you and him had an affair? Maybe. Again, I don't know. This is all alleged. Maybe you did. Do I think you're a victim? No. Do I think you were exploited? No. Do I think you were manipulated? No. Do I think you were vulnerable? I don't know, but not in the way you're trying to use it. And I'm just having this reaction because I think for the last couple of years, we've seen real victims come up. Real people who, went to a hotel room with somebody someone who they thought they could trust and ended up getting, assaulted or coerced into something. You having a year-long casual sex with Adam Levine does not put you in that category. And you breaking the story on TikTok is not you trying to protect Bahati and her children. or trying to stop the story from coming alive. To me, it's you trying to get a book deal. It's you trying to be in the tabloids. It's you trying to up your Instagram and TikTok following, right? I don't know, you guys. I just feel really bad for Bahati. I feel really bad for her children. She is pregnant right now, and this is just really, really sad. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Sumner is just clout chasing? Do you think she's looking for a moment? Do you think she's looking for a come up? This is just, her trying to get her 15 minutes? Or do you think, no, she was a young girl. She just moved to LA and she was really taken advantage of by Adam Levine and this whole situation. I think the only person who we can agree on who is 100% guilty, and well, what I mean by 100% guilty, again, everything is still alleged and rumor, but I mean in this situation, is Adam. Like, you're married, you have children. Why are you having casual sex with this Instagram model? Not cute. If this is true, I am by no means defending him at all. If this is true, he's 100% not defending him. It's just, there's something about her story that doesn't add up to me when it comes to her motivation and her intentions. Especially with that second TikTok, it seemed very like someone told her what to say. Like, she hit all the right notes. Like, I'm not saying I'm the victim. The real victims are Bahati and her children. Oh, I didn't explain it enough in my first video. This is why I had to go public. It just didn't seem real. It seemed very choppy. It seemed like someone had told her what to say and was like coaxing her. So I'm holding out judgment until this is confirmed 100%. But I feel bad for Bahati. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down in the chat box below. What do you think about the situation? Do you believe her? Do you think that the DMs are real? Do you think this is just one big stunt? I want to know what you guys think. But before you do that, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share this with a friend, because a key is always better with community. And don't forget to check out the description box and shop the Love collection below. So with that, you guys, I love you. Take care of yourself and be well. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!